Hi everybody, welcome back. This is my part 2 of the NFT first appearances video. I'll link the first one below. And I cut this video. I mean, it was completely done, and then I watched it again and I realized I don't think it's ridiculous, but it definitely wasn't. I just don't think it's right. So, but yet on the other hand, I think it's interesting. So I decided I would put this intro in front of it, and then I'll let it roll. But basically what it's about is the continuation of, if you are looking at each of these comic NFTs as they come out, what happens if people now in the NFT world consider these to be the first appearances of these characters. So that's interesting, but you know what? I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the majority of people that are going to be willing to pay, quote unquote, big bucks for some of these super rare comics are most likely going to be hardcore comic people. I know there's already some movement in a lot of these. I think, the Ultimate Fallout 4 one is already $3K and other things, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking, $500,000, $700,000, $1 million, because some of the physical comics sell for that. For example, Amazing Fantasy 15 just sold for $3.6 million in a 9.8 grade. So what I do think is going to happen is, because this happens in the physical world, is what happens is the first appearance generally starts to get really, really expensive and out of reach for most people. So then they go to the second appearance. And I actually think that might happen in the NFT world. But then what might happen even after that, because those comics sometimes get out of reach, then they'll start looking for alternatives. And perhaps, and you'll see some of my examples, perhaps some of these first appearance NFTs will become alternatives once the first appearance from the physical gets out of reach. I don't know. Of course, this is the Wild Wild West, so we're just guessing at everything. But I definitely wanted to put this intro before I start talking about them, because, I don't want anybody to think that they should be spending any type of money on these and thinking that somehow down the line people might really think of them as the first appearances. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe they will. But let's go check it out. Okay, so the last video I did, I will link it below. I talked about how people who are in the NFT space consider this perhaps to be Thanos' first appearance in an NFT comic. Technically, I guess, is accurate, but as I had mentioned, we don't know what's going to happen in the marketplace. Fast forward, many, many years. I do think that the interesting thing is it may make the physical book, it will increase the demand for the physical book. So I think that's something to consider if you're speccing on physical books. Anyways, okay, so let's jump into it. If you continue to extrapolate down this rabbit hole, which I did, in the spreadsheet I have all of the comics that have come out, all of the first appearances, and I looked through most of them, and some of them may surprise you. Okay, so let's jump into it. Obviously, I'm going to show some comics because I love comics, but let's talk about that. So let's talk about the first one, which is, this is Incredible Hulk #1. For those of you who do not know, this is a very rare book. I think graded there are 1,400 or something like that. It is from 1962. It is a very expensive book. In a 1.8, this book is probably worth around $14,000, $15,000. I don't say that to brag. I only say that to you to say that in the NFT world, and once again, this is so funky, this is the first appearance of the Hulk. So, bonkers. These are not expensive. You can get the common ones for, under $15. the ultra rare and secret rare ones are more expensive. But very interesting. So if you tried to go apples to apples, and it's so bonkers because, of course, this is also the first appearance of Maestro, who's a bad guy version of Hulk in the future. But would you take a shot? Maybe, perhaps, because that book ends up being really popular in the NFT world, this book's value will go up. This physical book is not expensive. I think it's a $25 book on eBay or something like that. So that kind of blows your brain because as a physical comic book collector, I do not associate that book with the first appearance of the Hulk. Okay, let's continue. All right. This is X-Men #1. This is also a very old book from 1963. In a 1.5, maybe about $7,000 US. A valuable book. An awesome book to have. And I'm happy I have it. But in the NFT world, the first appearance of the X-Men would be House of X 1, which was a great series. I really enjoyed it. I have a lot of these, and I talked about this in another one of my videos earlier this year. And was kind of a reboot of the series. But this would have all the characters, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Professor X, Magneto. So we know that, and I have it, I won't grab it right now. Oh, you can kind of see it over here. I have Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine. Very expensive book. But wait, this is the first appearance of Wolverine in the NFT world? This also you can get for, $11 as an NFT right now. If you really wanted to go to town and you really believe that the House of X #1 is the first appearance of all these X-Men characters, you could, this is the secret rare. This is the Mark Brooks connecting cover. I have the other connecting cover too. These are really, really awesome. One of my favorite X-Men covers. And this one in the NFT world is about $1,400, $1,500. Only 600 of them in the NFT world. But if you really thought this was the first appearance of the X-Men and Wolverine and Professor S and Magneto and Cyclops, I guess that would be the one to get. Now, just from my perspective, I as much as I have invested in, I like NFTs and I'm trying to learn more about it, I didn't do it. I haven't purchased any of the secret... Oh, actually, that's incorrect. I purchased the secret rare of the Miles Morales Ultimate Fallout 4. #1, because I'm a huge Miles fan. And I got it for a relatively good price. So I felt like that was a good one to get. But maybe I should rethink that when you think about all these NFTs, and I don't know. That's up for you to figure out. I just think it's very interesting. Some of the other ones that completely blew my brain is, and I'll put pictures of them up here, is the NFT called the Marvels. Not to be confused with Marvel Comics #1. I think some people are getting confused. So there's two of them out there, the Marvels. And if you believe in this craziness, the first appearance of Namor, Human Torch, Steve Rogers, Captain America would be in the Marvels. And that particular comic, in the common, you can get for, I think it was going for under $15. Does it mean it's going to go to $1 million? No. Maybe if you have the secret rare, that one. I don't know what the secret rare for that one was going for. It might have been going for, $1,200 or something like that. But there's only 600. So for people who aren't as into NFTs, the secret rares generally have a minted or print run of 600. Very, very low. So, when you consider something like this book, which is a very, very hard book to find, as I mentioned before, 1,400 all grades. And so when you talk about a secret rare and it's only 600, that is less than half of what these physical ones have. So if you have a really big Hulk fan, and there's some big Hulk fans out there, and they are now believing in NFTs to get that secret rare first appearance of Incredible Hulk, which is so bonkers, would be this one. Maybe the secret rare of this one, which is already expensive. I think it's, $1,200 or something like that. Maybe it explodes over time. Maybe 20 years from now, we're, wishing that we got these. I do have the common of this one. I don't have the secret rare of this one. Anyways, I have the spreadsheet. I'll link it below. It has all of the different ones. Like a cameo, technically a cameo of Ghost Rider would be in that, the Marvel's comic NFT, which is, I will continue to update that spreadsheet. So if you have a link to it, you will, you just keep refreshing it. You would be able to see as I keep on putting the first appearances in. I could have things wrong in there. If I did something wrong, put it in the comments of this video. I will alter the spreadsheet, and I'll just keep it going. I'm sure eventually someone will take it over, and it'll be much more formal than what I have done. But for now, if you're interested, I'll keep all the first NFT appearances in that spreadsheet, and we'll see where this takes us. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.